Hey, it's Kevin Neely from Resound Marketing. I want to encourage you, if you're a marketing manager, communications manager, director of marketing, maybe even a VP of marketing, I want to encourage you with a couple of things that I learned over this past weekend. And oddly enough, it was not at a marketing convention. It wasn't at some new exciting technology forum. I was running front of house audio for my church. I do that quite often, several times a month. And we had a big choir this week. We kicked off a new series at our church, and we wanted to have just an amazing worship service. And we had a choir, about 12 people, and 4 vocalists and a full band. And it was a busy day. And with choir mics, I added 2 more mics that we typically had used just a 2 microphone stereo setup, and I added 2 more on the sides just to kind of fill it in because I needed more sound, I needed more volume, I needed more of that choir sound. But in that process, I had someone ask me, "Oh, are you using a PSE on your microphones?" Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been doing sound for about 30 years, and I didn't know what a PSE was. Maybe I'd heard it before, but I didn't know the acronym, so I said, "What's a PSE?" And he said, "Oh, it's a primary source enhancer. And what it does is it really magnifies that sound when it's there. It helps create that better fullness of sound. It's a plug-in. It's basically a virtual enhancing software piece." And I didn't know what that was. I mean, I've seen them before, but I've never really used them. And we were getting in a pretty tight deadline where I was trying to ring these microphones out to make sure we weren't going to get feedback, really pushing it. And so, we chatted about it, but I moved on, and I never got a chance to play with that or put that in. But I worked those microphones in the technique that I had been taught and had been raised and knew how to do, which is basically you push it till you find feedback, and then you adjust, and then you push it some more, and then you adjust. And you get those microphones to where they're super sensitive without feeding back. And you can do that and get a great choir sound. All that to say, as I was thinking about this service and using these microphones, there was a thought that hit me, and this isn't meant to be a negative towards anybody or to the guy who recommended the PSE to me. But my thought was, technology can't replace technique. What I mean by that is that I learned how to work these microphones to get the most sound out of them without feeding back, so they don't ring, so they don't make that weird kind of sound during a service. But I didn't have the technology. Now, I had some technology, and let me first say, I love technology. I am a believer. I don't know that I would consider myself an early adopter, but I'm right there next to it. Okay, so I love technology. We have a digital console at my church, which has a lot of those things built into it, and I use a lot of it. But what I didn't want to do is replace what I knew how to do to get the end result with throwing on a piece of technology that maybe could do it for me. And again, I'm not saying that's wrong and it's not bad. I know guys that use that stuff like crazy, and they do a great show. They do great performances. They do great programs. And so I'm not against those things. But the thought was that, what? I knew how to do this through technique. I knew how to finesse those microphones and make them work the way I knew how to get the sound I wanted. And even with those microphones, I was using other technology inside that board and in our sound system. But I just want to encourage you today that, we see so much about AI today, and we hear so much about, technology going to replace everything, and this can do it all for you. But, the best AI still needs input. It still needs someone to tell it what to do. It still needs someone to interpret what the outcome is, if that's good for your business, and if it's not good for your business. And that's where the connection to marketing really hit me through this analogy was, we can use AI. AI is great. I love it. It's so cool that you can just say, "Hey, give me this," and it will give you pretty much that. And it's only going to get better and better and better. But I don't think we should be worried about replacing the essence of what a human brain can do. The essence of thought and creativity and just knowing what decision to make sometimes comes from your gut. It's not always a data. It's not always an equation or an input. It's, this is the right thing to do, or I think this will work. AI is going to be there to help. Technology is going to be there to help. We have more tools today than we've ever had in marketing in the digital world. Use them. Use them as much as you have, as much as you can. But don't ever let it replace the ability to use technique in what you do. When you design something, when you create something, when you send out a campaign, there's technique in that. There's an art form to doing these things. And that's why it works in the sound world, because creating sound and mixing sound for an auditorium full of 1,000 people, there's an art to it to make it sound right, to make it sound good. There's technology, but I can't just say, "Hey, AI, make this a perfect mix." I have to use technique. I have to use what I know, what I've learned over those 30 years to create the best sound. That works the same in marketing. Use the techniques you've learned. Use the knowledge you have, the real world experience, or if it's just book experience, use that book experience and put it together with technology to make the best product possible. So I want to encourage you today, don't ever let technology replace your technique. So let me know what you think. Do you think technology is the essence and technique is maybe a thing of the past? Or do you think technique will always be something that we deal with in today's world? I want to know your thoughts. Leave a comment, share a thought below. Let me know what your thoughts are on, is it technology versus technique, or technology and technique, or technology or technique, right? Let me know. Drop a line, share, make sure you subscribe. Hope you have a great day. If you need help in anything marketing, any kind of video production, audio, email campaigns, website design, I'm here at Resound Marketing. Give us a call. We'd love to help. Have a great day.